Hello and welcome to the round 2 edition of Bentley A&A Cricket Show. You've got myself, Adam Kane, and Adam Mickelson. We've got the wonderful surrounds in the Mickelson backyard.
Yeah, welcome to my home, and as you can tell, you've got a 3-year-old kid screaming his head off in the background. So I apologise for that, but
that's right. So
we'll just have to make do.
I think it's a pure example as to why we don't see Adam Mickelson on the field in the first half of the cricket season with the kids running around, terrorising, etc. So anyway, we'll move into now. We apologise for missing round 1, but we'll just do a quick wrap up of round 1 and 2 for Bentley A&A. Round 1, Bentley A&A lost to East Sandringham. It was a good start for A&A, where we had East Sandringham, I think 3 for 18 or something like that, when we had Duddy out, as well as Dallas and one of the other names. But yeah, unfortunately, Lukey Manders was dropped early and late, and finished on about 84 not out. And he took, I think, 2 of the first few wickets straight on bowling as well. So lost opportunity for A&A, I reckon.
And I was down there for most of the day until my daughter wet her pants in the playground and had to bring her home. Yeah. But look, it's really watching. I watched a little bit of A&A bowl, and look, Manders he was in pretty good form, and for this time of the year he was hitting him really well. Pledger looked really good too, and he's a massive in for them. We'll get to that later, but. You know, I still think even being 3 for 10 A&A, 3 for not even...
Yeah, I think 3 for 10 after about 5 overs.
I still, sitting back and watching when Stewie was in and Biggs, things were going well, but
and
even...
Dylan
Jans came in and made 30-odd. Really, Stewie had the attack. He really could have... just watching him, he didn't look like going out until he played just that rash shot, with probably 12 overs to go.
Yeah, we're needing, I think, 6 or 7 and over, which is doable on King George.
Oh, and the way Stewie was batting very well, he made about 30 as well. It's just if Stewie could have got through the next 6 to 7 overs, chasing 150, we got to 130. It's really, I think it could have been one that we lost.
Yeah. Admittedly, East Sandy weren't at full strength. I think they had a couple of blokes on footy trips or whatever, and I think Cheeks rolled his ankle or something like that just before the game, so they had a ring in. But having said that, as I say, lost opportunity would have been nice. In round 2, we came up against Kingston Heath, which they've got, there's a lot of talent within Kingston Heath with their junior program, and it's starting to show with their first 11. And I think they put Bentley Uniting in a close game where they rolled Uniting, I think, not rolled, but held them down to 140 in the one-day game in round 1, and I think they fell about 30 runs short or thereabouts, but they gave it a bit of scare. They would have come in pretty confident against us on the weekend, and I think they were confident. They've got a very good disciplined bowling attack, even though it's young. It's very disciplined with names like Davis and Rayner and who's the other one? Williams as well, yeah. So those names, and I think Pazialis at the end, who
he goes right,
yeah,
puts on the spot. Yeah,
so I think we were really struggling with the bat early on. The conditions weren't great because it had been raining all morning, and we batted first. And unlike the first game where we lost 3 wickets in the first 5 overs, Mark Eschke came in after making a ton in the thirds, and him and Brad Lovell, they they played a good solid start, and I think the first wicket fell, I think, in the 10th or 11th over. And then following that, Bill Biggs and James White, put on a steady partnership. And I think just after tea, I think it was 2 for 66, maybe at the 25th over or thereabouts. We're going about 2.5 or 3 and over.
Would you have a break?
19 overs. 19 overs. You have a drink?
I drink.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So I think it was pretty slow. It was 2 for 45 or something like that at the break. And then, and then at the end there's a bit of clean hitting. But yeah, wickets fell, and I think it was only, as it turned out, the score was at 123 with 1 ball to go, and Razmi was on strike, and he hit a 6 off a no ball, and then he hit a 6 again off the last ball to get effectively 13 runs off the last ball.
Ouch.
Taking the score
from that very often,
taking the score from 123 to 136. I think there was 20 runs off that last over. So, you get about 15% of your
Tell
score.
you what, watching Raz against Steve Sandy, I know he came in late. And
He made 30 not out.
30. Geez, that 6 he hit off the last or second last
it was the
ball,
last
that
ball.
was clean, but it was quality. It was just off his pads, and it looked as good as,
And he did exactly the same thing
as he did last
He did the
year.
same thing on Saturday, where
Yeah.
2 pull shots off, as I say, that last ball was fantastic. So it gave us a score that we were comfortable in defending. Well, not comfortable, but we thought we had a good score to defend, 8 for 136. We got some early wickets. Brad Dolman got 2 early wickets, which was fantastic. In fact, I think he got 3 early wickets. So they were 3 for not much, 3 for about 20 or something like that. And then there was a bit of a rearguard action, or rearguard fight back from Kingston Heath with the captain, Warner, and Andrew Burt, who's young but and opened the batting. He got dropped a couple of times.
Is he new, that one?
No,
Did he play last
Warner's
year?
played. I think he's been in and out, but he's captaining this year. Unfortunately, I think he got bowled by Brad Dolman in the second spell, and then I came on, and I think my first ball. Oh no, of course, Warner. I bowled a long hop. First ball, I came on just before tea, and he skied it straight to Bigsy at mid wicket. So that was a bit of a lucky stroke of luck.
Always the way.
Yeah, and then I think with about 10 overs to go, they only needed 40 runs, and they were 5 wickets down. So it was still game on as far as they were concerned. And from what I gather, they were pretty confident in the shed. But unfortunately for them, Brad Dolman came back on, got a breakthrough. I got a couple of cheap ones, and then Razzie cleaned it up. So all out for 112, and A&A are 1 and 1 and 6 on the ladder.
It's playing 38 over cricket. It's hard to get a read on how well a team is going to be for this year. Like you said, they got close to Bentley Uniting last week, but I was there for a little bit just to see them batting, and I still think it's going to be a long year for Kingston Heath. And like you said, they had you guys at 120 with 1 ball to go, and you ended up 136. So I don't know, mentally that might have proved something for Kingston Heath, but it's good to see Brad Dolman get another 5. I think he got 5 against them last year in the last game, so he's got 10 wickets against them
in two outings,
2 games for probably 6 or 7 runs a wicket.
5 for 19 off his 9 overs.
In one day cricket, to get 5 wickets is a fantastic achievement. You got 4 yourself.
Yep.
And like I said, it's good to get wickets on the road, especially for a fast bowler as well. So it should be a good year for Brad.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Should be a good year for Brad.
But, it's early days, 2 games. He's leading the competition with 6 wickets. But as I say, there's only 1 behind him. There's about 5 other blokes on 5, so big deal.
But I think just from Bentley's point of view, it's probably just again the runs.
Yeah.
And again, not seeing how you guys went last week, just looking at figures and missing the first few guys back last game against East Sandy. It seems like just the if Bigsy obviously got 40 odd last week, and there was a few single figures from guys like White and Lovell, Lovell got a 12, I think, but which really is not a hero there.
But 2-day cricket. Hopefully, people will play 72 overs and get their groove in. Guys like Geschke will appreciate extra overs to find his groove back in Longmere Shield. Whitey gave it. Even Dylan will.
Is he an opener, Gesh?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, he's probably got a rock solid defence as anyone at the club. So. Yeah, very comfortable with Geschke back in the side. I think he fills that void. Well,
I think this for guys like Whitey and even guys like Gerbert and these sort of guys that have been around for a few years now, from a club point of view, you need the guys in the twos making runs and putting pressure on these guys, because it probably... Look, I think we've done it for 3 years where we've given them the opportunity to play 30 games or whatever now. But they need to start really delivering and making some runs, and if that means they have to go back to twos and learn how to do it and get some big scores under their belt, like looking at results, Tom Backman's done that. He's gone back to twos and he's made an 80 not out and a 40 odd. So that's the best way to find form, rather than just punching it out in first 11 cricket, getting your 6s and 7s. But 2-day cricket's a totally different game. And but I hope, just to have a looking at the order, I hope it'd be good to get Whitey, I think, opening the back up the top of the at the order, because he's I think he's a perfect opener. The way he's got all the shots and everything like that. So hopefully Whitey can find his way back.
He's definitely in the top 4 anyway. So he'll make some runs, but we're pretty confident. Moving into